Hello, and welcome to another episode of the FemiNinja Project. And thank you so much for tuning in. I have a fantastic guest with me today. We're going to learn an awful lot about natural healing, which you know how much I love that. Her name is Dr. Jennifer Schell. She is a chiropractor who specializes in clinical nutrition and who has empowered thousands of families with natural solutions to common health concerns. She is also a wife, the mother of two teenage boys, and has built a secondary income stream aside from her chiropractic practice. And she now guides other women in holistic health to reclaim their time, earn more income, and love their life again. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here and welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, Cheryl, thank you so much. Such an honor.
Oh, it's an honor to speak with you. I've been looking forward to this for a while, and especially the past 20 minutes as we were working through our technological issues. But here
Me
we
too.
are.
We made it.
We did. I'm very proud of us.
Same.
Okay, so you have built an incredible practice. I mean, of course, I've looked at your website and some of your social media. So tell us how you got interested in chiropractic medicine to begin with and how that journey began.
Yeah. So I I always knew I wanted to do something helping people, but I knew I didn't want to be a medical doctor. It didn't sit right with me. So I looked at dentistry and I thought about different things. And then my grandmother was going to a chiropractor and she said, "You've got to call this lady. She loves her job and she sets her own hours and she's, able to have time with her kids." So I was like, okay. So I called her and we talked, and I'm like, this is really cool. So I started shadowing women chiropractors up in Michigan, where I'm from,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And there's so many different techniques and styles. And I'm still friends with those women today. And I've been out of school 25 years. Yeah,
Oh, that's so
I
sweet.
know. Really cool. Yeah.
So, as you were shadowing these women and following them around in their practices, had you ever been to a chiropractor before? So you never even had an
No,
adjustment prior to that?
I had not. So I did not grow up in a holistic household. My parents just didn't know. And so I was raised going to the doctor when something's wrong, you get a script. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do. You're sick, you take an antibiotic, you
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so no, Cheryl, it was 100% brand new to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to admit, it was brand new to me too when I went to mine for the first time or went to a
Oh,
chiropractor for the
were
first
you an
time. And I was,
adult?
oh yes, I was an
Yeah, yeah.
adult, and I'm Western medical medicine
Yes.
trained. I have,
Oh,
oh yeah. So I had my first career, I was a respiratory therapist for 18 years.
oh my
And
God.
yes, and then I went back to school and got my master's degree in physical therapy and
Oh my
realized
gosh, that's so
how,
cool.
not really because I hated it, but then I was able to go out on my own and start my own practice, which is what I did after about 2.5 years of that. But as a Western medicine trained person, the
Yes,
chiropractor, and especially back then, I'm
not well
definitely,
respected.
yes, not well
Yes,
respected, poo poo,
yes.
they're quacks, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
I
blah,
guess, yes.
blah.
Oh, I've heard it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's really sad because, and this is for anything in life, and
Hmm.
I think many of us can attest to this, but what happens is people are very ignorant to
Hmm.
things that they don't look at. It's
Right.
very easy to sit and judge or make
Hmm.
past judgment, but have you ever actually looked? Have you
Right.
tried it? What's your experience, right?
Right, right. So how could you judge it if you haven't even tried it? But it's like,
Yes,
oh,
but
well, I
people
have
do.
heard that,
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
I saw in the news and I
yeah.
read in People magazine.
Because the news, people on the news would never lie.
Right.
They
No,
would
no,
no, they
you're
would
always getting facts.
absolutely. So now that was when I first started going to one. Oh my gosh, how long ago was that? That was probably in the late 1990s.
Wow,
And
that's
yeah,
awesome.
And then I ended up probably, I can't remember when it was. I was in my 30s that I
Yeah.
ended up with a horrible back injury. And I mean, it got so out of hand, and the chiropractor I was going to was not helping at all, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that I was in so much pain that I actually went a step further out of my comfort zone because I was in so much pain. I was so desperate. I actually tried acupuncture.
Fantastic.
Thank you. So that was even stranger because, I'll never forget my first
Mhm.
appointment. It was on this busy street that happened to be past the hospital where I was working. And
Yeah.
I made the appointment. It was right after my shift. So I was still wearing my scrubs. They were bright green scrubs, which identified me as a respiratory therapist.
Yeah.
So my shift ended, and as I'm driving to this acupuncturist office and I see all the cars going by, I'm going, oh my gosh, if people that I worked with see me going, I need a disguise, I need a hat, I need glasses,
It's
a
like you're
fake
going to
mustache.
it's like you're going to some seedy place where people are
Yeah.
going to judge you at the acupuncturist.
And
That's
it
awesome.
was just amazing. The experience was so
Oh,
incredible. And this acupuncturist happened to be a chiropractor as well.
I love that. Oh,
So when
and did
he
you get relief?
I did. When he did the first, yeah, I mean, the exam, he says, I hate to tell you this, but you really haven't been receiving adjustments. And he was explaining to me, what was going on
Oh
in my
no.
spine, which of course I wasn't a PT at the time. So, I didn't understand the musculoskeletal system the way I did the cardiopulmonary system. So he
Yeah,
explained quite a few things to me. He started doing, you know, appropriate adjustments as well as the acupuncture. And the other thing I did was I stopped going to all my doctor's appointments. I fired my entire medical team.
oh
Yeah, they weren't happy about that. I stopped
no.
taking the medications they gave me. I stopped doing the stupid stretches and
What?
exercises that the PTs gave me. And I
Yeah,
started exploring movement on my own and what
good for
movements
you.
exacerbated the pain and what made it feel better. And that with the acupuncture and the chiropractic adjustments that he was doing, and he wasn't
Yeah,
doing that many.
yeah.
It took about 9 months, but I ended up being completely pain free.
But I mean, Cheryl, look at like when you really look at that, you empowered yourself. You didn't sit back and say, well, I guess this is just the way it is, or he knows best, or she knows best. No, you're like, I'm not getting answers. Like, I need to
Hmm.
find solutions. And you searched and you found them. You researched yourself and listened to your intuition. Like,
Oh,
hello, that's a huge message for all of us.
yeah, I know. Well, listen to your intuition. When you said that, I swear I heard angels singing in my head, because so often we do not listen to our intuition.
Oh,
And, one of the things, well, I won't go into that right now, but, just it was so hard to be able to pull myself away from that and say, I'm going to do this on my own. But the
yeah.
catalyst that made me do that, I call it those mental head smacking moments, was the time I went to my doctor's appointment. I was very good about doing that. And I went to my doctor's appointment, and she told me that, you're a chronic pain patient. You will always be a chronic pain patient. You will never get any better. And I'm looking at her and I says, wait a minute, you don't understand. I'm planning on going back to ballet class. And she laughed in my face and said, no, you don't understand.
Oh, oh,
Can you
no.
believe that? And then she told
Yes.
me, yeah, I know you can. Sad but true. And
Yeah.
then she told me to start applying for disability because I was going to need it.
Cheryl,
I was
look at
thir-
everything you've accomplished.
I was 36 years old at the time.
He's six, and they're like, you're done.
You're
You're done.
done. This is
But
your
look, like
life.
you didn't listen. You did not accept that as your truth. And you changed your reality and you
Mhm.
changed your situation. You took responsibility, which, yes, can be horrifying. But like, thank goodness.
Yeah, where would I be right now if I
Yes,
had listened to that person?
exactly.
I'm 68. I
Are you
still,
really? If
oh,
anybody cannot see Cheryl right now, you need to go look. 68? Your
I,
skin's like phenomenal.
I think I have a filter on my Zoom, but I'm not really sure
No,
about
I
that.
don't think you do, Cheryl. That's not a filter. Like,
Oh,
when you can see a filter when it looks like cheeseclothy,
yes.
you do not have that.
Oh, well,
Pretty good.
thank
We should go
you.
into skincare routine.
Oh, thank you so
We
much. I
sh-
really appreciate that. That's sweet.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome.
But I wouldn't be here talking to you if I had really listened to those experts. And I
Yes,
always tell people that, when I had my own practice, it's like you be your own expert.
you have to.
And
Yes,
that's what I get with chiropractic and
yes,
acupuncture is that you get that sense of how to be your own expert and how to be
yeah,
your own detective because you get a lot more. I get a lot more even now to this day. I do have a chiropractor that I see probably once or twice a year,
that's great.
and he always explains things to me in ways that
Yeah,
I understand because we speak each other's language. But
yes,
it's just
exactly.
so nice to have that kind of a partnership.
It is, and that's the key word. Whenever I have a patient, literally one of the first things I tell them is, I work for you.
Hmm.
You don't work for me. I work for you. So you have to communicate with me. You have to tell me when something's not right. All these things. So that's for everyone. Everybody out there listening, you have to be your own advocate and you have to, what's the word? Like, give yourself the confidence just because somebody's a doctor, they're not
Hmm.
in your body. So
Hmm.
don't accept what they say as fact if that doesn't resonate for you.
Hmm. And there are ways that we can listen to our bodies and listen to our intuition, and that in itself is so empowering. So, when you work with your clients and your patients, do you explain, different techniques that they could use about, how that they can actually fine tune that intuition? Because I
Yes.
think that society in general has done such a good job of trying to wean that.
Disassociate.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. No, that's a really good topic. So there isn't something specific like that I do, but
Hmm.
I'm constantly telling that person, like, you have to listen to your body and then you have to communicate back to me. And I think
Hmm.
that's something so many people are not in tune with their bodies, like at all. Like I'm
Hmm.
constantly saying, you can stop chiropractic at any time. But the difference is once you're in tune with your body, you know when you go out of alignment,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So, yeah,
And that in itself is very empowering.
yeah,
You are actually taking your power back rather
yes.
than walking into somebody else's office and saying,
And
"Fix
giving it
me."
to them, right? No,
I mean, oh,
you're correct. And that's something. So as when I was a young chiropractor, if somebody wasn't getting better, I would take it very personal and why am I not fixing them? And there's so many factors that go back to taking responsibility for ourselves. What's your stress level?
mm-hmm,
What are you eating? What's your diet like? Do you have tons of inflammation? Do you regularly move or you have no muscle tone at all? Right?
mm-hmm,
So there's
mm-hmm,
just so many factors where now when somebody is not improving, I'm asking questions.
mm-hmm. Well, even their emotional state, which gets a little bit,
100%.
a little twitchy because people don't like to talk about that,
Oh,
but there is such a connection between what is going on in your life and in your head to
yes.
what is happening in your body. And it took me a long
Always.
time to realize that.
Same, same. But now we can reflect back and here's the science of it. Okay, for all these people out there,
Hmm.
there's two parts of your nervous system. You and I know this.
Hmm.
The sympathetic is your fight or flight. So when you're in fight or flight, which is most people, because our
Hmm.
lifestyles are so crazy, busy, high stress. Well, when you're in fight or flight, you can't heal. So you
Hmm.
have to switch gears to the parasympathetic, which is rest, digest, heal. So you had some of the very first things I'm working with people nutritionally is calming the stress response, because if that's not calm, you cannot heal. You think you're running from a saber-tooth tiger. You're not like, let me fix my body.
Hmm.
You're
Yeah,
like,
it's
yes,
it's so strange because you're always on. You're always looking for the
yes.
next,
Most
shoot,
people,
yeah,
right?
the next blow or the next, the next hit or something like that.
Yes,
And it just keeps you in that cycle. And once you're in that cycle, it's really hard to break out. But there
yes.
are ways that you can do that.
Yeah. So there was this cool thing. First of all, I recommend everybody go on YouTube and just search vagus nerve
Ooh.
reset, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's this cool thing a patient taught me just this week. I'm going to show you, but this is not going to make sense to people just listening to us. But what you do is you take your palms and you cover your ears, and on the back of your skull, your middle fingers are interlaced.
Mm-hmm.
And then when your ears are covered and your middle fingers are interlaced, you take your index fingers and just click. It makes a really loud noise, like you can hear in your ears,
Mm-hmm.
but that resets your vagus nerve. So
Wow.
one of my patients did that. Listen to this. 3 times a day, she was just doing it. She turned off her tinnitus. It went away for 2 days. So now she just does that periodically, and it's dampened the tinnitus, her ringing in her ears. I was like, what? How
And
cool.
that is so cool. And that actually is a testimony or a testament to the plasticity of the nervous system, because everybody thinks, that we're really hardwired, but we're not. And this is
Yes.
one of the craziest things in the world that, when I went to physical therapy school,
Yeah.
I graduated, it wasn't that long ago, in 96.
Yeah.
And in all of our neurology courses, we were taught that I call it, nature's miracle, this, neuroplasticity, this
Yeah.
miracle of nature, that it automatically disappears at the age of 14. And I'm just sitting there like scratching my head
Wait,
going,
what?
okay, I'm just a
Wait, they said
16-year-old
neuroplasticity is gone
at
when you're,
14.
oh, wow.
And I
Well,
was like,
thank
as a
God that's not the case.
I know. And, it's like, okay, so I know as a respiratory therapist, I worked a lot in the neurotrauma unit, and I've saw so many incredible recoveries that's like, this
Yes.
makes no sense to me. And now finally, the neurologists or the neuroscience has
Yes.
finally caught up with reality.
Yeah, now you can do so much. So, does everybody know what neuroplasticity is?
Probably, but why don't you explain it anyway?
Yeah, sure. So, certain things can get kind of glitchy in our brains, and it's kind of like this automatic circuit, but it's wrong. So, what we're talking about is the ability to actually change that process that we think is stuck or forever or fixed, and it
Hmm.
isn't.
Hmm.
Amazing. Now,
And
that's some empowering stuff right there.
well, and even through, I kind of laugh because I have failed, miserably failed many times meditation. I really don't meditate.
I
I
can't
meditate.
do it either.
I meditate through movement. That's how I do it.
Same.
And that
Yeah,
works for me. But
same.
even through the process of meditation, or even if your meditation is through movement, if you're going out taking, just a daily walk or whatever, anything that is actually going to change your neural pathways, and that is
Yeah.
going to be able to calm your nervous system down. It's going to be able to, just open up a whole new world and get rid of a lot of anxiety and stress. And those are some of the things that
Yes.
are really killing us.
And setting a positive place in your brain. Maybe your body right now is betraying you. And look at what Cheryl went through.
Mhm.
And this is just a little side note, but for like 25 years, I've had a vocal cord problem. I have tried everything. I couldn't fix it. I do have to get Botox, my vocal cords, whatever. But what happened was I was letting it control my life. I wouldn't make phone calls. I would never talk on a podcast. I wouldn't do classes. So finally, one day, I just realized like, I am not living my purest
Mhm.
purpose. Like, my purpose is to educate and to help. And here I am, very introverted because of this. And so finally, one day, I was like, I just started teaching and doing all this
Mhm.
stuff, even though I was horrified, like to the point I could pass out.
Oh.
Well, what I found when I came from a place of service, that it was different. It changed. And then the more I did things, the easier it got. And then I finally confronted being on podcasts. And now I do them. I'm not scared, right? But this is what we all have to do. You have to face the fear. It's not going to feel good, but
Mhm.
you jump into it and you have to tell yourself that that horrifying fear is actually excitement.
Mhm.
So now that's where I operate. Oh, no, I'm not horrified. I'm so excited.
So at what point, when were you diagnosed? How long ago was that?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So in chiropractic school, I noticed my voice is getting tight. So this
Uh-huh.
20, well, my gosh, like 27, 28 years ago. And I was like 21 or 22, something like that. And my chest would really tight and I couldn't get a deep breath. And I just kind of thought, I must just be stressed, or maybe my ribs are out of alignment and all this stuff. And then I graduated, and it was actually one of the ladies that I had shadowed. I was with her, and she was like, Jen, something is going on with your voice, with your vocal cords. You need to go to the doctor. And I was like, okay, maybe I've got polyps. So
Mhm.
I just sit down with this man who had the worst bedside manner ever.
Oh.
He scopes me and says, yep, you've got spasmodic dysphonia. You're never going to get better. You're probably going to get worse. And there's nothing you can do about it but Botox every 3 months. And I was like, what? No, I'm a chiropractor. I do everything natural. I will fix this. So for 15 years, I struggled. But like I tried everything. I traveled the country. I did all this
Wow.
different stuff, and it just nothing got it, right? So I worked on the emotional stuff. Am I suppressing something? Is this some kind of trauma? Whatever. I did it all. And finally I was like, you know what? It's my quality of life. Oh well, I have to
Yeah.
get Botox. And I own it, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So that's my journey. And my point of that is if I can sit here and say to you, yes, for whatever, the fact that I came from a place of debilitating fear,
Right.
you are sitting there saying, oh, I'm too heavy. I'm too old. I'm too short. These are excuses. That is
Mhm.
made up.
Mhm.
Get past yourself and think about the people that need you,
Oh,
whatever it is,
absolutely.
right? Whatever
Absolutely.
it is, your health, your career, your hobbies.
Mhm. Mhm. And that's the one thing that I even wrote a book on it. That when
No,
people say they're too old, I'm too, and it's sometimes it's not because they really believe they're too old. They have heard it over and over. Oh,
yes.
once, you get to, 60, forget it. You can't do this, you can't do that. You're going to have arthritis, you're going to do this,
You're
and
going
all of
to
these
have arthritis,
horrible
right?
things, it's like,
Ridiculous.
what are you talking about?
Yes.
And that's another part of the neuroplasticity, because we keep hearing those messages over and over, and
And
then it
we,
changes our neural pathways. We eventually believe it, and then we become it. And it's like, no,
yes,
stop it. Let's not do
yes.
that.
Don't take on everybody's lies, everybody's false beliefs, all these things. Those are not yours. even though Cheryl and I cannot personally sit and meditate, we're in the woods. And right when I'm in the woods, I'm getting clear with, first of all, validating myself. Like,
Yeah.
you're working hard, you're doing things, you're helping people, whatever. And setting positive affirmations for
Mhm.
myself, changing my viewpoint. You can't let yourself be pulled down by everybody's
Mhm.
negative stuff.
Oh
You
God.
remember her, Cheryl, the story of like crabs in a bucket?
Yes.
So, you guys, in a bucket, if you throw like a ton of crabs, if one crab tries to climb out and gets close, all the other crabs pull him down.
Mhm.
So don't be crabs in a bucket.
Mhm. Yeah, the other crabs don't want even one crab to escape
Yes, they're
for
like,
whatever reason. I
help
don't know
me,
how
help
crabs
me.
think. Yeah,
I don't, do they even think, right?
right. But people do, they want
Exactly.
to
They're
hold you
gonna
back.
pull you down if you're trying to break the mold. Oh,
Hmm.
sister, you can't do that.
Hmm.
No, you're supposed to stay in the lines.
Or who do you think you are?
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
I love the fact that you walk in the woods.
I do. I have to go in the woods. Like that's my, and so now when I'm running, now I'm doing a weighted vest. Have you
Ooh.
seen those? Yeah. So I read this book. It's called The Comfort Crisis. And it's all about how we're just kind of just comfortable. We are
Mm,
comfortable
mm,
in our air conditioned house on
mm,
our couch. So
mhm.
this guy, anyways, he has a whole thing they call it rucking, which is like what army soldiers do
Yes.
with your backpack. It's just a fancy word for throw a heavy backpack on. But
Uh-huh.
what they did was studies that these soldiers were actually carrying too much weight, and that's why their joints start going bad. When you
Mhm,
do like a lighter weight, like I'm at like 11 to 12 pounds. So
mhm,
when you wear that vest, what that's doing is helping to build your bone density.
mm.
And it can help you lose weight quicker, and it helps with stamina, endurance. So I'm all about multitasking.
Mhm. Well, and just getting into nature.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
I
sorry,
mean,
I went off topic there.
yeah, the
Yes, the
benefits of
nature
that.
part. So you don't need a vest, you guys. Just try to be in nature. It's gonna help ground you, even if you're not barefoot,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I love hiking in the mountains, but it's gotten so crowded here and it's gotten
Where
so I'm in
where you
Colorado.
Colorado? Yeah.
In
Is it
in
really?
Denver. Oh yeah, it's so bad. I
Yeah.
moved out here in 1978, fresh out of college. It's a long story.
Oh,
So I've been here a long
hippie
time.
town. Hippie town. Love
It
it.
was, but now it's just,
Yeah.
oh, it's just horrible. That's, one of the reasons why we're leaving. You can't even really get to the mountains. It takes you half a day just to
Really?
get there. Yeah, used to be able to do it in an hour or 2 hours. Now it's just like, I don't
Oh,
even want to go. So
that's so sad.
it is, but then it's like, okay, this isn't working for us anymore. So let's do
Yeah.
something about it rather
Right. Do
than,
something about it. You're not
right.
happy where you're at.
Yep.
You don't have to stay there.
Right.
Right?
So now tell us a little bit more about your practice. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I love the clinical nutrition. I love how you,
Yeah.
help with some common ailments that,
Yeah.
there are so many natural things that you can do rather than go to the pharmacy, the doctor, get the pills and deal with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
side
Yeah.
effects.
Yeah. So it really is phenomenal. People might, you know, traditional folks will see it and would think it's kind of woo because I do
Mhm,
muscle testing,
mhm,
and it's a technique called nutrition response testing. And
mhm,
I've been doing that since its inception. And before that, I was doing applied kinesiology. So this has been part of my profession since the get-go. But the premise is when the energy to different organs and systems, when
mhm,
that's off and you're not in balance or a
mhm,
homeostasis, you can't heal.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is not treating diseases, conditions. I'm literally just helping the body heal itself. So sometimes it's heavy metal resonances or in like old illnesses or infection. I'm not testing the blood. I'm muscle testing just for energetic resonance.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do very specific supplement protocols for that person for that visit. So
Mm-hmm.
somebody could have the exact same thing going on, but be in a totally different protocol, different dosages, different supplements. And it's kind of like a revolving door. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, depending where we're at, but you're moving through. Those supplements are not what you need forever. That's just handle what needs to be handled, move on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly checking.
Mm-hmm. I want to say one more thing about that because you
Yes.
mentioned homeostasis. And you
Yes.
also talked about, the body. Our bodies want to be in homeostasis, and our
Yes.
bodies do have an incredible capacity to heal itself as long as you give them the right environment to do so, which is exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not
Like our
it's not covering it up.
no,
It's
exactly.
there you go.
And the whole thing is talking about that. Our bodies are amazing. They are so robust, yet so gentle and fragile at the same time. Like it's a weird thing. But when we feed it, take care of it, listen to it, it can really do amazing stuff. So, I mean, we literally like just see miracles like every day. Like it's nothing because it's just that's like, yeah, you're healing, you're doing good. Yes, you're, you know, all the different things. So I've seen people with any any condition or labeling of disease that you can imagine. And
Mm-hmm.
just by, you know, handling whatever comes up, where somebody may come in and they have I don't know, let's just say like asthma. Okay.
Okay.
Boom. Maybe that first visit, I'm working on their gut, and they'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, but my gut's fine. I have asthma. I'm like, oh no, no. No, everything is connected. This is where we're gonna start. And they could even improve with pretend, asthma
Mm-hmm.
symptoms by working on the gut because we're not we're not treating disease.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fall into that, right?
I was diagnosed with asthma, and I'm using air quotes here.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, when I was in my early 40s, and I kept saying, I don't have asthma. I know I don't have asthma.
Yeah.
And I was at an allergist's office because I'd had an allergic reaction to something. He goes, "Oh yeah, no self-respecting respiratory therapist has asthma." And I'm like, "Look, I've done all the PFTs are like at 100%. I know, and
That
they kept,
PFT.
yeah, the pulmonary function tests."
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So they
Yeah.
were all like at 100%. And it was like, obviously, this is not asthma. And they kept giving me, inhalers, and
Oh,
then they would up the level of steroid. It's like, no, you need a stronger inhaler. And
oh
I
my God.
kept saying, something's not right. Something is not right. It wasn't until one of my clients actually brought me these things called miracle balls. And she says, well, you just put them under different parts of your body and you breathe. And I'm like, well, this is silly.
What?
And all of a sudden, I tried it and it was like, oh my goodness, I didn't have asthma. I had so much tension in my thoracic area, in
Oh,
my chest muscles, that I
no,
wasn't able to breathe, properly. And it was like
no.
threw out the inhalers and never looked back.
So wait, I need to look that up because maybe I can help people with that. Miracle balls?
I know it sounds dreadful, doesn't it? But
No,
it's
I'm
they're
totally open.
they are, well, you don't want to say that in a group of men because mentioned it one time at the dojo, and
This
yeah.
isn't just ladies.
It
Miracle
was
balls.
it was a crazy discussion. I can't remember her name. It's something Perone, Elaine Perone, that started this method.
Oh
And
my
her own
gosh.
journey was that she was plagued with all kind of different pain and blah, 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 chronic pain syndromes. And finally, out of frustration, she just tried different things and she came up with this and it worked. And they're like,
Hey,
the Swiss balls or the exercise balls, they're like
yeah,
miniature exercise balls. They fit in the palms of your hand.
yeah,
And, you get them online, probably 35, maybe $40 at the most, I would think. And
yeah.
it comes with a little booklet and teaches you what to do and how to do it. And the biggest takeaway that I got from it was the exhalation is like an S breathing.
Okay.
And it's just like I was having a lot of anxiety at the time. And one time I was driving home from work and I could feel myself starting to escalate. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I can't pull over and pull out the miracle balls and get down in the middle of the street.
Right.
So
What do we do?
yeah, that's what do I do? So I just started doing some S breathing. And after just about 3 or 4 breaths, I calmed right down.
I'm gonna check that out. I gotta
Check it
look.
out. And it's a
Yeah,
great tool. I mean, all of my clients, when I had my private
yeah.
practice, all of them had miracle balls.
Miracle Pulse. All right.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
looking it up.
So
I'm
there are
gonna get
so many things you
it.
can do, especially if you're somebody
Yeah,
who can't meditate like you and I.
same, right? But you know what's very cool, Cheryl, too? You were sitting with this problem. You knew that that wasn't the solution,
Hmm.
and subconsciously or consciously, you're like, what is this? What is, and it came,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm. Yep.
That's so cool.
Well, thank you. That's the wisdom of the body when we listen to it. And so
Yeah,
that's kind of
and then
like a
your
really
patient
good
came
take home
in.
message. Yeah.
Yeah, and your patient came in and was like, "Hey, if you tried these miracle balls, fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
And
it."
it does entertain the guys at the dojo, but I don't talk about them
I'm
anymore.
sure it does. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, we'll keep it amongst us girls.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody else.
It's just us.
Okay, so you also use a lot of essential oils. So I want
Yeah,
you to talk about that because I can remember hearing about essential oils for the first time many, many years ago. And it was like,
yes,
what the heck is this? And then
yeah.
I was introduced to them and they are lovely.
Aren't they lovely?
Mhm.
So, over the years, I've used all different brands, all different kinds, and I thought they were all the same. And then I learned like that the industry is actually very corrupt.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, there's brokers and middlemen, and the industry is not regulated. So, what's happening is these poor farmers in small villages, or I mean, all around the world, but they're not, first of all, getting paid fairly for
Oh.
their yield. So, because these brokers go in and say, oh, like here's an example. In Haiti, they grow vetiver. Vetiver
Mhm.
is like a really tall grass, and it's
Mhm.
hard to get it out of the ground. They have to do it by hand, so it's very
Oh.
labor intensive. So these farmers get this huge yield of vetiver. They don't have a truck to bring it to the distillery. They don't even have cars, right? So these brokers take advantage of these farmers, go into the village and they're like, hey, I'll buy your vetiver for, nothing. And the
Mhm.
farmer's like, well, I got to feed my family. So, okay. So that's the first problem. Then these brokers, they distill it down themselves because there's no regulation. And there's so many synthetics that
Oh.
can mimic natural that a lot of times they, even when they're tested, you can't tell. So this is another huge thing with testing. But anyways, these guys dilute it. So then they get a bigger yield that they can sell for a fortune. And
Mhm.
then they're telling companies who are buying it, yes, it's organic. Yes, it's safe to ingest. Sure. And it's not. So that's huge. So I started really doing a lot of research, and then it came down to testing. So if you've got a pure essential oil, that can actually be used therapeutically.
Mhm.
So I'm not using it as like a frou-frou, like, oh, this smells good. I mean, that's great. I like
Mhm.
that it smells good, but I'm not. I'm using it as a supplement.
Mhm.
Okay. So testing and purity are the biggest top priorities. So whatever company you guys are using, you have to be able to see the testing per batch. Okay. And then the other thing is not just testing, they can't just run one test. I need
Mhm.
to see like the company that I'm using, it's 54 different tests and there's 8 different types of testing. But
Mhm.
then you need that third party verified because
Mhm.
again, there's just no regulations. So a company can just say, yes, that's a safe to ingest.
Jeez.
It's horrifying. So when I learned this, I was like, oh my gosh, like I got to teach people this. So that became my mission. And this was during COVID, actually.
Oh, jeez.
This is when I really started teaching, and I started teaching on Zoom because that's all we could do, anyways. And it totally became this like second income stream. And then I started teaching women that they can, you're not limited by a
Mm.
glass ceiling. You don't
Mhm.
have to work 9 to 5. You can create your future. You can make your life look the way you want it. So then
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, this is so empowering. So it's just been like the most amazing journey of my life. Like it brings me so much joy.
Okay, so now how many years that you've been doing this?
Okay, so using essential oils, that's since chiropractic school,
Uh-huh.
but pivoting and turning it into a business once I learned, like, oh my gosh, this industry is so messed up. That was COVID. So is that 2020?
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah. So within that span, last year, I'm almost at 6 figures with
Wow.
that. And that's part time, Yeah. So I'm like, people, you can do this. You can't talk the talk without walking the walk. So
Right.
if you're scared, I'm going to help you become, well, no, you're still going to be scared, but we're going to do it until then you're not scared. And I'm just
Mhm.
holding everybody's hand and walking with them and guiding them and leading by example. Like
Mhm.
if I can do it, Miss Vocal Cord issue, who couldn't even use the phone without a panic attack,
Aw.
anybody can do it. Yeah, so
Mhm.
I'm like, this is empowering.
Okay, so how can the listeners find out more? How can they connect with you
Yeah.
and kind of go through the training process or
Oh yeah,
whatever?
yeah. Yeah, so I'm really only on Instagram right now.
Mhm. That's
So
okay.
just come to Instagram. I did recently change my name because it was based off a book I had written, but now it's just Jen Shell underscore DC for Dr. Chiropractic. Jen Shell, SHELL underscore DC. So if you just message me there, most of my content I'm gearing towards like healthcare professionals. But if you're a mom or not a mom and not a healthcare professional,
Mhm.
maybe you work at a law office at the front
Mhm.
desk, I'm still, it's, I just, my social media lady said I had to niche down. I had to niche. So, anyways, I'm still 100% there for you.
Okay, so back up a little bit because I
Yeah, yeah.
think you said that you wrote a book.
Yeah, so I wrote a book after I went on maternity leave with my first son who's graduating high school.
Oh, wow.
So 18 years ago, I wrote this book because I dropped him off at daycare and I drop him off and I look and what they are feeding the kids
Oh,
is Eggo waffles. And
oh.
then their snack was Teddy Grahams. And then for lunch, it was like SpaghettiOs and canned peas. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is what our nation is feeding our children. So I wrote a book called Food to the Rescue. And
That's it.
yes, Food to the Rescue. You can get it on the Amazon. But I sold like 10,000 copies through doctors' offices,
Jeez.
which has been so cool because it's really for beginners. It's
Uh-huh.
like, what is protein? What are different kinds of carbs? What are
Mm-hmm.
the additives we need to avoid?
Mm-hmm.
Which sugars are good and which are bad? And what
Mm-hmm.
just all the basics, like just a real simple
Okay.
step.
So I'm going to plug your Facebook page because your Facebook page is Food to the Rescue. Because,
Yes,
okay,
I
as you were
forgot.
talking, it was like,
I do
oh,
it.
mental head smacking moment. Yes, I
I
remember
do.
that. I saw that. So, yeah,
I
I mean,
do.
that's one heck of a nice looking page. You got a lot of
Oh, geez.
information.
Really? Thank you. I
Yeah.
do have, there is another Facebook page that I started that's public. It's called the Natural Care Collective.
Okay.
And I do a lot of educating about like essential oils and products in there, and that's just open
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
too. Thanks. I totally forgot about all that. Thank
Well,
you.
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It's my ninja skills. I stalk
It
people
is.
online.
That's what you have to do. You gotta know who you're going into, Like,
Right,
what
right.
do we got here?
I had one guy recently, he said, I can't believe you found that. And I'm like,
Oh, that's
that's
so
what I
either
do.
good or
Yep.
bad. You don't know.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was all good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I just love that all the
Yeah.
stuff you're doing. I mean, it's just amazing. Now,
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you something probably a little weird. So let's go
Um,
back to the person you were when you didn't even know what chiropractic was.
yeah.
Okay. If that person could have looked into the future, or if
Oh,
somebody had come up to you and said, hey, guess what you're going to be doing in 25 years,
yes.
what would you have said to them?
I literally would have probably, well, okay, that young woman
Hmm.
was very timid, was very insecure, was not at all confident in herself. So I think hearing that, she'd probably feel very excited, like, oh, I'm gonna do all that, really? Oh,
Hmm.
awesome.
Hmm.
That's what she would say.
Well, all right. Take the bull by the horns and just run with
Yeah,
him.
girl, run with it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you've already told us a couple of places where people can find you. Is there anything else that you want to share with them?
Um, I don't think so. There might be a link in the notes that's a link for like a health questionnaire. It's like a quick 10-minute thing. You can answer that, but that also gives you my contact info.
Hmm.
So feel free, and like I can reach out from that
Hmm.
too. But you definitely messed me. It's me. I don't,
Hmm.
it's me answering. So
Hmm. Jen, it has been an honor and a pleasure having you on the show. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'm so thankful, Cheryl. It was really fun. You're an amazing woman. So
Oh, thank you. Back
thank you.
at ya.
Thank you. You're an inspiration, though, to all of us. And we need to embrace that and follow.
Well, you're quite the inspiration as well. And
Thank you.
that's what it's all about is sharing each other's stories and sharing information. And I do believe that when we do that, we can make the world a better place. And that
Same.
certainly is what we need. You have given us some fantastic information. Do you have any final little pearl of wisdom that you want to leave with the listeners before we sign off?
I mean, honestly, give yourself grace. Maybe you're not in a
Mm,
good space right now, and maybe you're really stuck. Maybe you literally feel stuck.
mm,
Please just go inward and journal, go in nature. Take the time to listen. Don't stifle your truth.
oh, my goodness. I love that. Don't stifle your truth. Wow.
Thank-
Thanks again, Jen, for being here. It's been awesome.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Please share this episode with everyone you know. Fantastic information. Just remember to be true to yourself. And, the body has an incredible capacity to heal itself. The mind, the body, our spirit, as long as we give it the right environment to do so. So get out in nature, take care of yourself, listen to your body, breathe, check out those miracle balls. And remember to be kind to yourself and share your story too with everybody, because I do believe that we can make the world a better place. And that is the way of the FemiNinja.